Does anybody have any questions? It is called... Oh, where did I put it? It used to be up there. There it is. Oh, my cord's too short. It is a... Oh, let's see. It is an API freshwater test kit. And they're, like, in the fish community, they're known to be, like, the best test kit. The strips don't usually, like, give you as exact of a result. It kind of throws off the results when you add prime. The thing is, prime does not remove all the parts of the nitrogen cycle. It just makes them so they're not harmful. So the kit is testing for the stuff that's there, not if the stuff that's there will hurt anything. Well, I mean, coming up with the ideas, I don't know. I just thought of them. There wasn't like a process. I'm clever. Thank you, Stacy. I was wondering if I could share my screen. I actually have a blooper that I could show you. I was doing all the like blueprinting stuff at work, and there was actually a guy that came in. I did the Memorial Day, or I did the blueprinting like last, so it was like Memorial Day, and everything was closed. So he came in and he was like asking for parts. Let's see. Yeah, this one. Does it have sound too? Okay. Can you hear it? How about now? I can restart it. We might not be able to figure that out. I can always post it in the group. Okay, I'll just share that in the group later. It's not a big deal. Carol, did you want to come on and talk, or did you do that by mistake? I mean, you can... Okay. I was gonna say, I know you're not gonna like do anything weird, so I guess you could say whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, I just had to blow something up. I mean, how can you not? They like base part of the episode around it. It's always like the biggest thing. That's okay, Carol. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of follow-up, mainly on the crabs don't want to leave their tank thing. They actually, I was really surprised when I watched the video and I was like, this isn't gonna matter. They're not gonna care. It's just another thing to climb on. We put all kinds of weird things and textures in their tank. It's not gonna do anything. But then I watched the video and I'm like, oh my, they're like actually avoiding it. And it was I was surprised. But yeah, I mean, it's more than just the heat and humidity. It's they just don't feel comfortable in that environment because it's really not their environment. Um, they did start to get a little bit more comfortable with it. I left it in there for about 2 months. Well, I took it out about like 2 weeks ago, but they did kind of like become a little bit more comfortable on it, but it was really like no interest to them. They would much rather prefer to be like inside the cork logs where they can like pick little pieces off, or just like climbing up and down things and exploring. It was really just not like their cup of tea. They just didn't hang out there. The thing with we do water changes. The the night the nitrate cycle goes through all the steps, and then the last stage, um it's safe, but at certain levels it starts to be questionable, and that's different for like all the different fish and sea life, and like as far as like crabs and stuff. It's, I mean, maybe somebody could look into, or me or whoever could look into, um like maybe like ocean hermit crabs and see if there's like a level that's dangerous to them. Um, but I mean, yeah. Yeah, the difference in colors. It's really cool how they like the test kit can do that too. Like you just put a couple drops in and shake it up, and then it wait a little bit and it just like changes colors. Carol went and cleaned her pools. But I mean, it was like a cup of water with like like 3 to 10 pieces of poop. So, it like your crabs probably aren't going to poop that much in their water bowl like over a couple days. I don't do TikTok, but if I could ever find time, maybe I'd post some videos on YouTube because I really enjoyed making it. Well, I don't know, because it takes like there was so many like parts that were, I don't know if it'd be great for a Facebook Live because there were just so many parts that were um, sped up, things that take a long time. Yeah, that might work with the newsletter. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I could probably do that 4 times a year. I could probably make time for that. No, never enough time. Do another next CrabCon. I already offered Mary that I would if she wanted me to. So that might be coming. It's all up to Mary. Mary runs the show. Say what again, Dakota? Julie said even if you don't do it, then do another for next CrabCon. So I was talking to Mary, and I offered to do episode 2 of Mythbusters Crabs. if she wanted me to next year. Thank you, Dakota. Does anybody else have any more questions? Thank you, Jenna. I see Stacy pinned a comment. Did I use one with Shazam Prime? Like I was talking about earlier, it doesn't really change the test results. But it would, yeah. All the water did have Prime in it, so. Thank you, Katie. Let's see what else is there. Oh, the sand. The calcium sand. Messing with that, I hate it. And I feel like people just like take the calcium sand and dump it in their tank and they like don't touch it. They don't mess with it too much. But like with like adopting crabs, sometimes they'll come in calcium sand and I never like really played with it. I always just kind of like picked the crab out and put him in the good tank or in his PPDS tank and just kind of like tossed it, like go out in the yard and dump it somewhere. So I never really, yeah, it's disgusting. Oh my. But the when I was like mixing it I don't know if you've like ever played with kinetic sand, but it felt a lot like kinetic sand. Like I feel like if you just added like a little bit of glue, you'd have kinetic sand. It's really like oily almost, but it's not. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, it sticks to your hands and it creates this like absolutely awful residue. It yeah, it's just awful. And I mean, you get a crab and it's got you adopt a crab and it's living in calcium sand and it's got calcium sand stuck to its shell for like weeks. Like it's got to fully soak and then like rub against things to get it all off. And I like tried washing it off my hands with just water, like the residue, and it wouldn't come off. It wouldn't come off with just water. So, like soap. I mean, obviously we have soap, but the crabs don't have soap. Yeah. And it's just awful stuff. I mean, the way it gets hard, it's just no good. There's no redeeming qualities about it. It's absolutely awful. It's terrible to deal with. It sticks to the crabs. It gets in their shells. It gets hard. There is no redeeming factors. I don't know why anybody would want to use it. Also, it's expensive. Yeah. I mean, Dave back here, if you can see him, he like if you read the bags, some of them say that bearded dragons can have it, but why? I mean, bearded dragons can have regular sand, but it's kind of like advanced to take care of. He just has like shelf liner. But I mean, why would you market it to any animal? Like, what animal is going to benefit from it? It's sticky and gross, and I can tell you how much I hate it all day. I didn't actually even buy the bag I got. It came with one of the crabs that I adopted. They just had an extra bag of it. So, let's see. Yeah, the 5 gallon behind me with Dave's bugs used to have calci sand in it, and I don't even think it's completely out of there. It's really hard to clean out too. I have a tiny, I may have thrown it away, but I have a tiny heat mat. It's like one of the ones they sell at beach shops that are like that big. I should see if I can find it and maybe send it to you. Stacy's talking about how she can use trash products at her shows, and I'm sure that the other people who have booths could use them too. So before throwing away that stuff, you might reach out. That and your painted shells. I know Stacy collects painted shells. I don't know if she's filled up her container yet, but she has like a whole container of painted shells that she's filling up the entire tub. Okay, Stacy said that there are 4 others who were doing shows who need shells and bad products. The shells are so heavy that it broke her container and she had to re-glue it. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Darcy said that she recorded a video of the hermit crab kits sold at pet stores. It was pathetic. Yeah, I could see how the shells would be really effective at getting people to the table. And I'm really excited to see that video, Darcy. So, I mean, were you guys surprised to see that the crabs had such, like, that they didn't want anything to do with, like, the soft surfaces? I mean, did you see that coming? Because, I mean, like, silk plants and stuff, they'll climb on it. They don't care. But you, like, set up something that's, like, formally like a rug, and they're like, eh. It could have been the smell. I mean, it probably. I'm allergic to like scented laundry soap, so it would have just been like the plainest Janus of laundry soaps that it would have been washed with. But I'm sure to them it probably had a little bit of a smell. Carol, you do thumbs up by if you like put your. Oh, I guess you're on mobile, so maybe if somebody on mobile knows how to do that, they can tell Carol. the the like rug that I used was like a handmade like dish towel. It kind of had like a harder texture string and then like a cotton string. They they it was interesting like the rag that was laid over the back of the chair, they really didn't seem to like touch that at all. They weren't like so put off by the like rug, but that doesn't smell like my house. Yeah. They didn't seem to mind the like metal chair. Of course I can't leave that in there. I mean some people might, but I really don't want like big rusty things in my tank just because of like it decoloring other stuff, and it's not ideal, but they really didn't seem to mind the chair. It was kind of pokey and metal, and I guess they don't want to be comfortable. But he hung around and sat on like the arm of the metal chair for a little bit. I left them in there until about 2 weeks ago. They kind of got used to them, and they like wouldn't avoid them. They just kind of like walk over them and move on. It, I mean, as far as like enrichment, it didn't really have much for them. I mean, it's just like a flat thing. There's nothing to climb up. Um, they would like climb over the couch if they were trying to get somewhere else, but they never really like hung out there. There's like no food for them. You can have your tank and you can have like leaf litter all over the ground, and like I said earlier, the cork wood. So they just have like something to do everywhere else but that kind of space. Hi Kelsey. If you're a VIP, they'll email you a replay of the session so you can watch it. Probably the thing I was most amazed about is that the water that was left for the longest time actually cycled. That was really surprising to me because I mean they sell all these things for like you have all your filters and your filter medium, and they even have like little, they're almost like pebbles but they're made out of like clay or like limestone or just all kinds of different like natural substances that are really porous to attract the bacteria. um I don't know if I should tell you what I blew up the critter keeper with, Danielle. I don't want you to recreate it. Well, I don't want anybody else to recreate it either. But like the dish it was in was just like a plain storage container. It had a ladder that went into it. It was one of my 3D printed ladders, so that was just like a plastic surface too. It has a little bit of like rippling on it, but it like completely cycled, and it was like continuing to cycle everything that was in it. And then so like you know how when you like go to clean out your bowls, you get like a little bit of a slime layer? That almost had to be where the bacteria was. I mean, glass is a little bit smoother than plastic. Plastic is ultimately porous. Um, I mean, glass is still going to be a little bit porous. It would be interesting to see. Maybe that'll have to be part of Mythbusters Crabs next year, a live video or something like that. Can we blow something up live? I don't know if that's quite crably related. I mean, you could just go watch real Mythbusters and watch them blow stuff up if that's what you're looking for. They do it in every episode, almost. Does anybody else have any more questions? Explosions. Crabs blow up our tank every night. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you hear crab keepers all the time say it was like a bomb went off. Okay. Well, if nobody else has any, it is an API freshwater test kit. They make one for saltwater as well. They are different. They're not different chemicals, so you may be able to download the saltwater chart online. But like the reading charts, the one that I had sitting in front of the bottles, it's like a little piece of paper on the back of the booklet with all the color blocks. That's different from the salt to the fresh water. So, and also if you want to have your water tested with a chemical test kit, you can take it to your pet stores. Most of them do it for free. Like PetSmart and Petco, they'll do water testing for free. You don't even have to buy anything, although knowing all of us, we probably would. Like, oh, look at that new aquarium plant. I need that. Cycle tanks are super intimidating, but you shouldn't be intimidated. You saw how the plastic bowl cycled itself. I mean, for the first like couple weeks, or if you really wanted to be sure, like a month or so, if you want to add enough prime to treat that amount of water every single day, you're going to neutralize all those chemicals. So if you just like add a filter to your tank, just treat it with prime every day or two like you would with your normal bowls, until, like, if you have a filter, a sponge filter, or an electric like pumping filter or anything like that, it should cycle in like at most a month and like 2 weeks. Like that's the longest I've ever seen, like even anybody post about a crab tank taking to cycle. Yeah, no problem. You hate having multiple sessions at once. That's okay. Like I said, there'll be a replay of the sessions if you're a VIP. If not, you should be a VIP next year. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to let you guys go to see other sessions, use the bathroom. It looks like 6 minutes until the lunch talk starts. So it's a replay. Courtney's bioactive water. And of course, if you missed it last year, the lunchtime sessions are the best. They're like the best 3 talks of the year before. So yeah, excellent replay. Okay, I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys.